Hello and welcome back to another edition of Check It Out. Okay friends, in today's video, I'm going to show you how to fill in a crack like this on an iPad or iPhone. And then I'm also going to show you how to clean it up and put some protective layer on top of this guy right here. So I've already done something similar to this iPad right here. This one had huge cracks. You can see right here, it even had a hole in it, and it still looks like it still has it. Cracks going all the way up and down it. I brought this into the Apple store. They told me it's a dead duck. Basically turn it in and get a new one. So as a kind of last ditch effort, I bought one of these guys right here online, something around 10 bucks. I'll put a link in the description below. But I bought one of those, put it on this guy right here and kind of followed the instructions, and it works perfect. It's been a couple months now. Absolutely fantastic. In today's video though, this one up here, I did not fill in the cracks. This little crack right here, I'm gonna fill it in with epoxy. We're gonna wait our 5 minutes for it to dry, and then we will clean it up and put another one of these new guys on here right here. So I've actually purchased 2 of these guys so far, and they're really awesome. So for today's video, the items that we'll need is a new one of these glass screen pros right here, and this tempered glass. And we'll need a razor blade, some kind of piece of wood or plastic to spread around this epoxy, and here's some Gorilla Grip. This is the clear, fast-acting epoxy. So it doesn't really matter if it's specifically this one. And again, I'll put a link in the description below. You can get this one if you want, or something along these lines. Fast-acting epoxy is what you're going to want to do. So our next step is to get some of this epoxy. We're going to put a big dab about the size of a quarter or so. And then it came with this little stick. This is going to work pretty well. And basically just mix this stuff up. So before I get too far, I did clean off this screen, especially these areas where the cracks are that I'm going to be putting this on. So make sure it's nice and clean. And then I'm just going to get a small amount, don't overdo it with this epoxy. And I want to work the cracks, and especially that little area right there where it has a little bit of an indentation. I do want to be careful though, because just on the side of this iPad, there's some little holes for the speaker, I believe. And it also kind of has that plug-in hole where it charges up. So I don't want to get glue or epoxy into that area. So I want to really try to get it into that crack though. So I want to fill that guy. This process is similar to like when you get a crack in your windshield of your car and those people come out, and what they do is they fill in that crack, and the idea is just to prevent that crack from getting bigger. That's really all we're trying to do today. All right, that looks pretty nice and full. So now my epoxy, I actually let it dry overnight, even though it said 5 minutes. I want to make sure that it's completely and totally cured. And now what I'm going to do is carefully with a razor blade, and I'm going to use this against this glass. It won't hurt it because it's glass, but obviously be careful so you don't cut yourself. And I'm going to carefully cut this away from the glass. This is all the extra epoxy. What I do want to try to do though is keep the epoxy that's down into those cracks. So I kind of want to cut through it to leave the part that's filling in those cracks. Okay, I've shaved away the old epoxy, and it left just the smallest bit inside these little cracks and holes. So hopefully that will help keep it together so the cracks don't get bigger. Next, let's open up the Glass Screen Pro. So this is our tempered glass. This is real glass here. So it comes in this nice case. And again, look down in the description and I'll put where I purchased this guy. It's got the installation kit, and then they kind of have really nicely wrapped so it doesn't get broken. But in here is our actual glass piece that is going to go right on top of the iPad. So my next step is going to be really to clean the surface of this iPad up. So I'm going to use number 1 is kind of a wet wipe, and then I'm going to use number 2, which is a dry swab. We're going to clean it up, and then I'll show you how to put on these tabs onto the glass as well. There's some directions up here. Okay guys, so here's the actual glass. This little red tab, I want to make sure that I have this red tab facing down towards the iPad. That red tab is attached to a thin layer of film that we're going to peel off of that backside to make sure that the glass on glass is a perfect fit. And then down here there's these 3 little stickers, and the way this works is I peeled them off, we put about half the sticker on the glass, and then what we're going to do is get the glass and put it right on our iPad perfectly. And you can see here too that the glass comes pre-cut with that hole, so that's awesome. So what we want to do here is really try to line this guy up as perfect as we can. So we're going to get it right on the edges, exactly where we want it. And then we're going to get these stickers, and we're just going to simply put a little pressure on the glass once it's perfect. And then we're going to peel these stickers down and around to hold it. Okay, now I've got the stickers on there nice and secure, and all we're gonna do is lift up this glass right here, and we're gonna peel back this little film on the back side. We're gonna be real careful not to get any fingerprints on the back. Now that the film is off the back, it can so carefully put it down, and again, our stickers are holding it in the just right spot, and we'll carefully put it right down onto there. Perfect. Then what I'm going to do is just kind of push my finger up, and you can see that glass just kind of suction cupping to the glass underneath it. Next, they give us this little handy dandy tool, and we can use that just to really make sure our glass is getting a nice connection. So now we got it on there perfect, just how we want it. So we're going to take off these 3 stickers. Okay, friends, that is it. Easy as that, and we should be in good shape. So I will show you over here. It looks like the cracks are a little bit offset, so my new glass didn't suction down perfect onto the cracks that are here, because I think the cracks are a little bit offset. But the point is, we've got the epoxy there to stop it from cracking anymore, and then we've got this glass layer on top to kind of keep everything together and protect it for the future. And now this iPad, which the Apple Store was telling me is basically time to get rid of it, well, this thing is obviously going to be good to go for many years from here on out. Hey friends, I hope you liked this video. Subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, and we'll see you next time.